Hello, welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name's Jason Newland. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Yeah, your eyes. Your eyes. Oh. I'm too tired for this. Wow. Okay. Let you know my website's jasonnewland.com with all my recordings. There are thousands of recordings on there. Yeah, what else? I've got a Facebook group called Jason Newland's Boring Group, which you can join. The link is on my website also. I also have a YouTube channel at Jason Newland, where all my latest podcasts are added as they are produced, all 6 versions. Although there's a little bit of a delay at the moment for some reason. So, oh, that's weird. How strange. So some of them, according to this, some of them are private. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'm confused, very confused. How strange. Ah, I know what's happening. That's right. It'll be sorted by tomorrow. It's a little bit out of whack, but it will, a bit like my brain, but it will be back all sorted tomorrow. It's just I've changed over the podcast for YouTube, so it just takes a while to sort of sync, as it were. It does look like it's syncing. So this is Let Me Bore Your Pain Away. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes, and only ever listen to any chronic pain relief recordings or any chronic pain recordings when you have permission from your doctor and you know the cause of the chronic pain. So what I'm going to do is, what I generally do is I just focus on a subject and then go from there. Now I'm just going to go back. Okay, here we go. Oh, itchy bum. So I do get a little bit of help from ChatGPT when I'm looking for, a bit of information about some of the different techniques that might be available. I do think on my own as well. Although I'm not going to say that I've ever thought of anything original, because I may not have done. It's kind of hard to say, when if you've read, it's a bit like listening to, like, if you watch movies and all you do is watch movies, and that's your biggest pastime, your biggest hobby, your biggest love, and then you write a movie, you write a script for a movie, and unless you've got a photographic memory, there's a good chance that you may use ideas and even dialogue that you previously heard accidentally. I've seen that with comedians. I can't remember when I was working, when I was doing comedy back in the 90s. there was this comedian, like, he used to moan about my material being rude. And then the compere of this comedy club got on stage and told one of my jokes. And all the comedians were looking at each other, because everyone knew it was my joke, because I toured London doing those same old jokes for quite a while. So I was criticised for my material, but some comedian, a comedian that was doing well, was using my joke. It's like, why? But I wasn't the only one he used. He used someone else's joke, and he did it to two people, and both of them weren't happy with him. So they sorted out amongst themselves. But I just thought, well, you know, it was just nice to hear the audience laughing at the joke. He did a better job of it than me, so hey, good luck to him. I think the joke was something. It was such a silly joke, like, I came on the tube tonight. What was it? I came on the tube, like, on the underground. I came on the tube tonight. The other passengers weren't very pleased. Something like that. And it got a laugh. It's like, but that's my joke. Okay, here at okay. So I do look up, you know, ideas, trying to come up with ideas for these recordings, because it is let me bore your pain away. So I do just yabber on. Sometimes I get very, very focused on a particular idea around chronic pain itself. For example, you know, there's no pain in the brain, yet the pain creates the brain, but there's no pain in the brain. And that fries my brain a little bit. The idea of it just, it doesn't compute. I mean, it's my minimal capacity to think, probably, but I can't. It doesn't make sense, especially for things like headaches. So the pain in a head, yet you can't have pain outside of, you can't feel any kind of pain outside of the scalp. You know, so when you feel something inside, you can't, there's no pain in the brain. So when you're having a pain right in the middle, there is no pain there, because there's no physical sensation in the brain. You know, neurosurgeons can actually do brain surgery while a person's awake, playing a harmonica. I'm not talking about the surgeon, the you know, sometimes they get the people to do stuff so they can test which side of the brain and what parts activate and stuff like that. I don't know a lot about it, but I've seen documentaries. But there's no physical sensation. There's stimulus. So sometimes if they touch a certain part of the brain, the person may start to smell cheese, or have a taste, or have a memory, things like that, you know. So it's very delicate organ, but ultimately there's no physical sensation in it, which fascinates me. Yet it creates all physical sensation, because without the brain there is no physical sensation. It's just weird. It's just a concept. But yeah, as an example of something that I've probably talked about in the past, I can't remember. I don't really remember much stuff what I've done. Here's an interesting one. Finely tuning an instrument. So I guess if you're a musician, I used to play the violin. Used to, you know, at the age of, what, 10, 9 or 10. So it's a long time ago. It's a little while ago. It's a heck of a long time ago. And I used to play bugle as well, but that was a bit different. You don't really tune a bugle, you just blow through it. It's just a lot of spitting, really. Blowing and spitting. It's a lot of tongue action. Came in handy later. And I did the glockenspiel as well, but that wasn't... I think you can tune it. I don't know, can you loosen the nubs that you bang on? Gong on, I don't know. Thanks, Vinny, for flapping your ears. Lovely. And I played the drum. There's no tuning with a drum, or can you tighten the skin on a drum? Maybe. But with the violin, it's something that you tune every time. Every time you pretty much... Not every time you pick it up, because you might put it down and go look out the window to see if there's any UFOs, and then come back and pick the violin up again. You don't need to retune it then. You might put it down, go to the toilet, and come back. And you may have to wait a little while because your hands, it makes me feel a bit, your fingers might be a little bit sticky. It makes my throat go all weird when I talk about sticky stuff. But you know, if you washed your hands, you might have to wait a little bit before you can get back to having any kind of grip. Whenever I say the word grip, I always think of the old Action Man super grip hands. And he honestly used to be able to put things in his hands, and he did grip really super, proper gripped. His fingers just went back, so you could put little objects in his hands. And another one was it Hawkeye, where you could move his eyes, and another one where you could actually look through the eyes, but that might have been a Bionic Man, where you could look through one of the eyes and it'd be magnified. So much fun. So, yeah, fine tuning your instrument, fine tuning your body so that it maybe goes back to how it was before the physical discomfort started. Because that's Vinny, can you hear that? Have you got it? Oh, excuse me a minute. Why do you have to do stuff like that when I'm clearly busy? Why do you want the one that's there when you've got a whole one? What? Oh. Right, I normally edit that out, but I can't be bothered. So there was something stuck underneath the wheel of the chair, and he decided he wanted that, even though it's only half of a little bone thing. He's got a whole one, like 20 inches away. Although 20 inches is quite a lot, isn't it? Blimey, that's like halfway to the moon. So stop staring at me. What? You've had your din-dins. You've had lots of TREEEEEEEEETS. Why are you staring at me? He's just staring. And he's begging. You want another treat? I'll go and get him another treat. Right, just had to go and get him a nice, juicy treat. So he's going to be happy for at least, hopefully, 5 minutes. maybe then I'm just going to have a little lie down. We're going to have an early night tonight because it's been a weird day. Just been a weird day. One of those weird days. So it's the 2nd of June 2025. It's 7:35 p.m. It's still light outside, which is nice. And basically, I already did a recording earlier. Did Let Me Bore You to Sleep, Monday's Boring Objects. And what I will probably do is I will edit and upload this tomorrow morning when I wake up, rather than now. So I'll record it and then I'll do all the stuff later tomorrow, because I'm not really a big fan of doing the editing and the processing and all that stuff straight away after making the recording. It's sometimes nice to have a little break, just turn the equipment off and go and just do something else, basically. So I asked ChatGPT to come up with 10 fresh concepts. So this was like a while back. Doesn't have the date, but it was a week ago or something. Please think of 10 different original ideas for a chronic pain relief audio recording. I'm looking for an original technique to expand on. Now, it says here, it thought for 7 seconds. So I used ChatGPT 03, which is the advanced reasoning. ChatGPT 4.0, great for most tasks. I like the idea of using a bit more thought. So it says here are 10 fresh concepts you could develop into full-length chronic pain relief recordings. Each one offers a distinct therapeutic hook. So you can choose the approach that resonates most with your voice and audience. I don't know what resonates with my voice. And as it comes, as for you, it's about... It's not necessarily about the technique so much as about relaxing and hopefully listening to my voice yabber on, even if it go off on a different subject, can be relaxing. But at the same time, by focusing on helping to relieve that physical discomfort as well at the same time. So I'll give you the 10 that it's come up with. So it says, pain to pixel dissolve. Stop staring at me, please, Vinny. Doesn't say that. He's literally coming to my peripheral vision, staring right at me. He's gulped down that chicken stick thing. So I'm going to try and block him out with my hand. Put my hand up to my head. He's still staring. Cinematic visualization and colour breathing. Listeners imagine their pain as a cluster of glowing pixels that fade and disperse with each exhale. So it says why it's novel. Combines classic body scan hypnosis with the brain's love of digital imagery and colour theory. Cool hues equals reduced pain perception. See, this is kind of similar really to something like talking about a pixel cloud. This is a technique I did in 2006, where when I had I had the newspaper article done about me, and I was regularly seeing this elderly man who had arthritis, and he was probably in his late 70s, or early 80s even, but probably late 70s. I don't know, it's hard, I can't remember. But I was visiting him in his house once a week. And I sent an email to the newspapers telling them what I do, or did they contact me? I can't remember. But anyway, they asked could they come round and see me at work doing because it was a free service, they wanted to see me in action, and he agreed to do this. So the photographer and the reporter came round and watched me do what I was doing. And also it talks about it, so I can find it. Evening Star, just on Newland. Here we go. Ipswich. Unless I'm not in there anymore. Ipswich Star. Ipswich. They might have changed it. Maybe the Evening Star doesn't exist anymore. I'll put my name in. Don't seem to be anything coming up. The internet's just... I put my name in it, it's just disconnected the internet. That's not fair. Why has it done that? Connecting. Right. Some of these newspapers seem to disconnect the internet when I go on them. I'm not quite know why, if I'm honest. Let's come out of this. Connect. It's very strange. It's been working absolutely groovily all day, and then suddenly can't connect to this network because I try and go onto a newspaper website. Oh, it's connecting on its own now. Oh well, I've still got the page. I'll just ignore that or come on its own time. So yeah, what the technique is I used is I've still got the newspaper article somewhere. It's the picture of me is awful. I'm bald, but on purpose. Now I'm bald because nature's being cruel. But you know, back then I used to shave my head proper, like to the bone. I was wearing all white. Well, my big pink face. I was a fair bit lighter than I am now. I was probably walking around about 12.5 stone. Maybe 13. So I was quite a fair bit lighter. And I did this technique where, first of all, it's relaxation, because I'm sure we all know that God, that's so loud. Did you hear that bird? Proper loud. We all know, relaxation equals pain relief. The more relaxed you are, the more comfortable you feel in all different parts of your body, not just that particular part that is feeling more relaxed now than it was before, but like everywhere. You just generally feel more relaxed, and that affects your whole body and your brain and your mind. Your mind slows down, and that bird, is it a crow? It's proper going. I think it's a domestic, I think. That is. I just see there's a crow. It's just come home and it's wobbling a bit, so I think it's been down the pub. I think he got paid and he spent all his wages on beer and chips and then a fruit machine, and now his partner's telling him off. That takes me back. I had a girlfriend who was always spending all her money in the pub. So the visualization, I had this thing where I imagined I got Bob, Tom, let's call him Tom. I got Tom to imagine that the part of his body was that he focused on, I think it was his hips, if I remember rightly, was moving out in front of him. And it was like I guess the same as what it says here, an image, but then it had a colour, and I got him to tell me what colour it is, and then to change the colour, and to change the colour again, then to change the colour again. And I'm not sure if I also combined changing the shape. I think if I was to do it now, I would combine changing the shape, changing the colour, moving it further away. And there's certain things you can do. You can pretty much imagine sticking super glue on the back of it and pushing it far into the distance against the wall and pressing on it, and then you let go. I mean, you can turn your arms into Mr. Tickle for a minute, you know, so you've got really, really long arms, and then let it go, and it's stuck there. And you imagine yourself moving back. And even though it's a visual, it's possibly a weird visualization, it's amazing how thinking like that can actually have an effect, a positive, beneficial effect. Now, Symphony of Synapses. Oh, the internet's back. I want to just search that again. I want to tell you about this. So let's have a look. Jace, Ipswich. I mean, I've not lived there since forever. I lived there for 6 years. It says. Oh, I can't find it. It's like it never existed. I wonder if there's any images. There might be an image. There might be. The problem is if I put my name in with images, there's so many images of my podcasts. Like so many. A lot. And also images of me. Probably a few from Facebook and others from image, like YouTube images as well. So there's quite a lot. I just thought maybe by putting in the town, I'm beginning to, you know, I was doing a recording earlier and it was supposed to be I suppose a quiet relaxation session, and I had him in the background doing that, what he's doing now, and I just had to quit because I can't do quiet stuff with him in the room unless he decides to be quiet, and there's no guarantee of that, which is part of the reason why I don't do whisper recordings, because it's hard to find a quiet time to do it. It really is. It's very hard. Okay, let me see if I can find another way. Evening Star newspaper. I mean, mate, it looks like it's changed. So I wonder if it's going to lock me out again if I put in my name. No, it hasn't. But there's nothing about me in here. Date range. Oh, look. There's a thing about potholes. This is just people called Jason. Okay, there's another one that's not good. That's not me though. Oh wow. Okay, that's something I didn't expect to see. And it's logged me out again. That is weird, because why would it do that? So I'm now it's now logging me back in, but as soon as I clicked on a link, it's very strange. That's weird. Let me have a look on my phone. See if I can get it on there. What's the okay, let's see if it comes up on this one. So yeah, it's the same internet though. I don't know why it's not doing it on the, it's doing it on the phone. No problem on the phone. Okay. Oh, it's actually giving me different ones to what was on the yeah. It's almost like they're not hiding, but they're giving me completely different answers to the ones on the website, on the laptop. That's very strange. Oh, found it. Oh. Oh dear. No, it's just something about it's I can't even tell you. But there you go. Right, I don't want to go back to that anyway. So if I put in the year, if I try and put in the year, that might be help. Anytime, customer date range. So 2006. It's a little while ago, isn't it? Blimey. Is there a way of change? I just want to change the year. Oh, it's allowing me. Okay. 2006. Okay, got it. Right. Oh, 2006. It would have, okay, to 2006. So go back there to 2006 December. I know it wasn't. I could put between the 1st of February to December. Mind power can beat pain. Yes, I found it. The 19th of July 2006. This is, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, right, just for you, because I love you so much. I'm going to post this article on my Facebook page. It's a Jason Newland's Boring Group. So I'm going to post this now so you can see it if you want to. It's just, you know, I've been in the newspapers twice in my life. It was the second time, and it was definitely my yeah, I was pleased. I was happy with how it worked out. I think. I think so. Because it was an accomplishment to me, personally. So let me have a look. I'm just going to post the link on my... Right. So what I might have to do, go to the website. Oh, so it's not coming up, so I have to actually put in mind power can beat pain. Wow. I was famous for about an hour. Right. So I'm going to post it. It's just going to say Mind Power Can Beat Pain, 19th of July 2006. And click on that and it will take you to the website, the actual page. So what it says here, but there's no images. There's no images of me anymore. Oh. Because they've changed the website, so the images are gone, but the text is still there. So it's, instead of being the Evening Star, it's now the Ipswich Star. So here we go. Hypnosis has come a long way since the days of dangling pocket watches and people dancing around like chickens. It can also be a valuable medical tool. Health reporter Sarah Gillett met an Ipswich man who believes mind power can conquer anything and watched him in action. Okay, I'm not sure if I said that. Mind power can heal anything, but yeah, fair enough. Hypnosis. Okay, so just going. Plagued by chronic pain in his legs, pensioner Ron Page was at his wit's end. Respite from his agony came only when he was asleep, and even then it was only ever a matter of hours before the constant ache became so bad that it woke him up again. Heavy-duty painkillers prescribed to him by doctors failed to stop the involuntary twitching in his legs, and courses of acupuncture proved futile. Believing that nothing could solve the problem, it was in sheer desperation that he decided to give Ipswich-based hypnotherapist Jason Newland a try. Just want to point out on acupuncture is different things help different people, don't they? And I love acupuncture. I'm a big fan of. I would say I'm probably a big fan of all alternative therapies, really. Pretty much. I haven't had acupuncture for a while, but I have had it a few times over the years. It might be time to go back and have some more, actually. A friend of mine saw his card in the post office and told me about it, said Ron. I got... Blimey, this is me talking now, not the article. I ordered about 50,000 postcards that I delivered in that town. Maybe it was less. Maybe it was 10,000. I'm pretty sure it's 50,000. It cost a lot of money, and I don't know how. I wish I had one. I should keep this stuff as a kind of a keepsake, you know. But I didn't. I guess that's what keeping it is, isn't it? Keepsake. But I didn't think about it at the time. But it would have been good to have that as just so I could look at it. I remember it kind of in my head, but it was all different colours, and it was it was a bit of a muddle, but it was basically free pain relief. And I had a website called freepainrelief.co.uk, which I started in January 2006. And things started to pick up really kind of over the next few months. And then I sort of progressed from doing... I focused after about pretty much in 2007. I focused mainly on the group sessions at the rehab, the alcohol rehab centre, the alcohol centre and the drug rehab centre. I focused on those and doing the stuff online, as opposed to going into people's houses. Because I went from going into people's houses, and then I rented a therapy room on a Saturday morning, and then so I did that for a while. The therapy room charged me £10 per hour, so I had to charge the clients £10 an hour, but that was it. I got them to pay at the reception, so I didn't really get to touch any money. I didn't want to. So a friend of mine saw his card in the post office and told me about it. Said, Ron, I delivered those cards for months. I used to do it during my lunch break when I was working. Lunch break, and then in the weekends, in the evenings, after work. I delivered thousands. I put them up in all the different shops, post offices, the news agents. I think I stuck them to lampposts. I went into the bookshop and put them in some of the books, which perhaps wasn't a right thing to do, I don't know. I also put an advert in the newspaper that was in there for every, I don't know if it was every day, but yeah, went in for a few times. So I went all out, really. Cost me a few grand to get all that sorted. So Ron says this is a last resort, really. The next bit, it says, for 6 weeks Jason has been visiting Ron in his Norwich Road home, and he invited us all along to watch a session. Sitting in his wheelchair, Ron closed his eyes as Jason's soothing voice took hold. Slowly and calmly, Jason asked Ron to relax, to listen to all the noises around him, and then feel them fading into the background. Once Ron was completely still, he asked him to feel the pain in his foot and to give it a colour and a shape. Oh, okay. A blue square, Ron murmured in a drowsy voice. Good, said Jason. Now change it into another colour and shape. I probably didn't talk like that. This routine was repeated several times before Jason eventually asked him to imagine that shape being frozen and turning into a block of ice. In Ron's mind, this ice was then left to sit in the garden and melt away in the sunshine, before Jason slowly brought him out of his trance-like state. Yeah, I sound quite good there, don't I? Although this is 19 years ago. See, I don't think people believe. Sometimes when I mention it, I've been doing this 19. I don't think everyone believes it. It's absolutely true. I have. I think it's because maybe some people would think that I'd be good at it by now. Maybe that's why. You can't have been doing it in 19 years. You'd have some kind of skill by now. So, although looking slightly bleary-eyed, Ron was immediately able to talk coherently about the experience. This is him talking. You don't feel that you're gone. I won't do a voice. You don't feel that you're just gone, he said. I can remember him talking, and I can hear noises in the room. Bearing in mind there was 4 of us in the room, and I think a couple of cats. So there was the bloke taking pictures, so he would have heard that because it was flashing as well. It's quite a dark house, so he would have seen that or heard that, probably seen it through his eyelids, the flashing. The lady was writing down stuff in a pad, so he probably would have heard that. I did. And there was me eating a Mars bar, so he probably would have heard that as well. And the photographer was eating he had a Kit Kat, and what we did in the end is we chucked the wrappers at each other, and it was quite funny. But I'm not sure if that helped. And then it says here, Jason explained, this is my voice back then, some people would call it a trance, but it's really a state of absolute relaxation. So I probably would have talked more like this. Some people would call it a trance, but it's really a state of absolute relaxation. And maybe, I'm not sure how inflected my voice was back then. All the background noises are still there. It's very much like when you are on a beach sunbathing and you're completely relaxed. I nearly said naked then for some reason. Really completely relaxed. You can still hear, or I didn't need to tell you that, did I? I nearly said naked. I could have just not said it. Well, I didn't say it, did I? But I didn't have to tell you that I nearly said it. What? Why? You can still hear all the noises around you, but you might sort of jolt awake. I think what it is when you feel comfortable, a bit like being on a beach, really. So I can't sunbathe. I'm not allowed to. It's not illegal, but I'm not. It's not like I'm banned from the beach. Not all beaches, and I can't because of my skin. I blister. I'm one of them. You know, at the moment, my body's 3 different colours. I've got a red face from the sun. My arms are paler. And my feet are see-through. They're just white, like so white. But my face is a really different colour. So I went out in a t-shirt today because I thought I need to start getting some sun onto my arms so people don't think that I'm, I don't know, it's just out of proportion colour-wise. I'm never going to be white. I'm not white. I don't have white skin on my face. It's pink skin. But at the moment it's really quite red because of the sun. This isn't part of the I just burped then, sorry. I don't know, you might have heard it, so I'm just I didn't. It's Vinny, stop it. What I just said then wasn't part of the article, because that would have gone on. They probably wouldn't have included that, would they? At some point she probably would have said, can we bring it back to the subject, please? But anyway, what I was like saying here, you know, not in the article, although I mentioned it in the article, is when you're on a beach, and I remember being on a beach, and there's something beautiful about it. Sitting in the sun, if you're able to, or even if you're in the shade, but just there's a sound, there's a smell. Everyone's kind of got, I mean, you pretty much got the smell of suntan lotion in your nostrils. I mean, you're not supposed to squirt them in your nostrils, I know, but there's that sound of the sea, there's the smell of the sea, there's I don't know, it's a certain, I'm just going to it's going to be different depending on where you are. But there's a lot of sounds, and if you're on a busy beach, I wouldn't have, looking on, I wouldn't think that it'd be a very relaxing place, but it actually can really be a very relaxing place. Even if you've got someone playing a radio or some music, if it's not right close to you, even that like background can be fairly relaxing. And other people talking, maybe laughing, and it's, I guess it's that zoning out where you don't, I guess you don't care anymore. You're not interested in, it's like, it's just sound. It's just feelings. And feeling comfortable and calm with your eyes closed, maybe, it's just nice. It feels nice. And it's almost like you're in touch with how you feel, but at the same time, you're not really bothered about how you feel. You're just, I don't know, it's a weird sensation. I mean, it's been a long time since I last sat on a beach. Well, I've been on beaches since, but I have to be, I have to kind of cover myself up and have a shade over my face, otherwise, I burn. It's just one of those things. But there's a calmness. I mean, you could actually, well, I say you could. I remember once I was sunbathing and I was smelling food, and I thought, it's making me hungry, but why did someone got to cook so close to me? So I opened my eyes, someone was frying an egg on my forehead. It was just, it's a bit rude. In Ron's case, I get people to visualize their pain in different ways. To see it as a colour or as a shape, and then to visualise that shape moving away from their body. That way they're using a different sensory organ, and everything is not focused on just one thing. In Ron's case, the problems with his right leg began years ago, and despite a major operation has never really gone away. He said initially he thought, okay, this is now Ron talking. He said initially they thought it was to do with a trapped nerve, but I've developed arthritis in my ankle now. It was very swollen. I used to do a lot of sports years ago, and I think that's taken its toll. So the pain started in his ankle, spreads across the top of my foot and up through my leg, and blah blah. Ron's 74. Oh, he's 74. Okay, can't walk far, but can get up to answer his door and manage the stairs in his house. Shortly after this, his family moved him out of that house into a bungalow because he couldn't manage the stairs anymore. He admits that he was cynical about hypnotherapy, but has been genuinely surprised by the quick results. The pain is not as bad as it was. I used to sit here, and every now and then my leg would jump. The muscle, so that's the thing, it wasn't just that it reduced it there and then, but I was only seeing him once a week, for 6 weeks, but only once a week for an hour, and then I wouldn't see him for a whole week. So between weeks he was feeling better, and as he said, the pain is not as bad as it was. He used to sit there, and every now and then the leg would jump and the muscles go into spasms, and I can't control it. It was really painful. But over the last few weeks, that seems to have stopped. So I don't know why I'm pointing this out, but I'm excited. 19 years ago, now I'm getting excited. I can now sit here without it twitching all the time. I really notice a difference at nights too. I used to start twitching as soon as I laid down when I went to bed, but that's got much better. I can actually get a good night's sleep now, and that hasn't happened for ages. I know it's not going to be 100% perfect, and I'm never going to be able to get up and run again, but it helps relieve things. And yeah, I mean, I'm never going to be able to get up and run again. I can't run either. And I'm a lot younger than he was then. Wow, see, he was 73, 83, it'd be 92 now. It says a little bit about me. For Jason, 35. See, I did once used to be 35. You didn't believe that I used to be younger, did you? Well, I did. See, for Jason, 30, and it talked about me, 35. Seeing the change in Ron has been hugely rewarding. The practicing Buddhist who works in insurance during the day has chosen to offer his services free of charge. People, oh, this is interesting. People always ask me why I'm doing it for free, said Jason. They're very cynical about why I don't want to make any money out of it, but I'm a Buddhist and I believe very strongly in giving something to someone without getting anything back from it. Seeing the reactions and the difference in people I treat is enough reward for me. I come across quite nice, don't I, in this? What happened to me? Recognizing the limits of his hypnotic ability is also important for Jason. I believe I can help anyone, but what I have to stress to people is that I'm not a doctor. I can't get rid of the causes of pain altogether. So yeah, if someone's got an illness or something that's causing the pain, I can't do anything about that, can I? But I can maybe help to change how that feeling or the response they get, which is ultimately what we want, isn't it? Maybe not all you want, but it definitely helps, I would say. I will only perform hypnotherapy on someone who has checked that their doctor is happy with it first. So I'm talking about chronic pain relief, and that's why I say this at the beginning of the recording as well. So I said it then, I would not see anyone unless they knew what the issue was and if their doctor is happy. I was almost semi-professional. I'm not even partially professional now, am I? I was so much better back then. The first time I came round here, his ankle was so swollen that I had to do the recording. I had to stand outside and talk to him. That's not true. Oh dear. His leg was sticking out the door. I sat on his foot. The first time I came round here, his ankles were so swollen that all I did was some relaxation techniques. I didn't want to focus on his leg or the pain there until he'd been to the doctor and checked that it would be okay for him to see me. Okay. So the thing is, sniffing. And I'd said that to people. I did also sometimes. So I had someone that came to me with phantom limb pain, and that I class that amongst my most successful clients, just for the simple fact that I don't know. It was a subject that interested me. How someone that doesn't have that part of their body can feel that part of their body, but not only that, is also have discomfort. I'm going to use that word, discomfort, in that part of the body. But what also interested me, because when I saw this man, he'd had a motorbike accident, I think about 6 years earlier, or 8 years earlier, and he had about 2 years with the really badly damaged leg, and then they had to amputate, or he chose to have it amputated, I think, because he was in so much distress. But then he was still in pain for another 6 years. And I knew instinctively the one thing not to say to him was, but you don't have a leg. There's no leg there. I knew, even though that's something that probably so many people would have said to him in the past. He didn't tell me that, but I just kind of knew that that's how humans sometimes are. It's like pointing out the obvious, like he's not going to know. Of course he knows. So, and he explained that his leg was, it felt like it did after the crash, like it was still in the same position. I'm not going to go into details, but it wasn't nice. So what I did is I relaxed his body. You know, I went through his body like a body scan, but a relaxation, starting at the top of his head, moving down. And all I did was include his leg in the relaxation. And then I got him to straighten the leg. I got it to refit into the normal position that it used to be in. Sort of untangle, kind of, you know, so that it was back into the position that it was when it used to feel fine before the accident. And no one had ever done that. I mean, I don't think he might have had hypnosis before, actually, but I'm not sure. But I was, again, last resort. I was always the last resort. Hypnosis often is a last resort, and I personally wouldn't even really call it hypnosis. It was just focused. I like to think of it more, instead of calling myself a hypnotherapist, I'd like to think of myself as being a therapeutic genius. I think that suits me better. Oh dear. So yeah, he relaxed his leg the same as he relaxed all the other parts of his body, and he straightened it out. So in his mind, he's got his eyes closed. When he opened his eyes, nothing. Like everything was how it had been before the accident. I don't mean the leg reappeared. I mean physically. That's ridiculous. What I mean is, I'm not a magician. That's just crazy. I can't believe it. But he felt fine. His leg felt fine. It didn't just feel better. There was nothing. It was just felt the same as the other leg. And he couldn't understand it. He couldn't, what he did and what everyone does, and it's natural, is they try and get the pain back. And it seems ridiculous to do that, but I would do exactly the same. It's so natural. It is natural. It's like if you go and you get help with a phobia. Let's say it's whatever it is almost, it's natural to want to test it, isn't it? And I think every single person I ever helped face to face with chronic pain, and I'd say at that period I had 100% success rate, according to the people that came to see me. I mean, of course, they may have been lying, you know, I mean, they might be like, oh, thank you so much. I can't believe I'm out of pain for the first time in 6 years. And they want to go outside the building, shaking my hand and smiling, get outside of the building like, oh, what a pile of shit. Ouch. That was rubbish. Maybe that's possible. But then why would they send me letters telling me months later how much it helped and how they're still fine? So that's kind of, yeah, maybe. There's a hero. I just, I love doing that, and I would have, it was an impossibility for me to do that as a full-time thing. To see people face to face, not charging them, and I say full-time, I wouldn't want to see people for, I only, maybe 3 or 4 people a day is enough, I think, unless I was to do group sessions. But if I had an office and I was seeing people specifically for chronic pain, it could be, yeah, I think it would be quite a satisfying occupation as long as I didn't charge them. And the thing is, there's this whole idea, and I do understand it, that people, there's a theory, and it's repeated a lot, especially in like self-help books and motivational books, and even Buddhists I've heard say to me in the past that people don't appreciate stuff that's free. And Earl Nightingale said that as well, but he also pointed out that the most important things in life are free, like your health, your family, your loved ones, the things that we're born with, that is free. We don't, but they're the things that perhaps we don't appreciate. And so that makes sense. I understand it from that perspective. There's a lot of stuff that I don't appreciate possibly, or haven't, that came free. But I don't think it's because it was free that I didn't appreciate it. I don't think I appreciate my big TV because it cost me a lot of money, 5, 6 years ago, whatever it was, any more than I would have appreciated my TV if it had been half that price. It's just handy to have a TV I can see, because my eyesight is not as good as what it was, and I can watch movies with subtitles and still see the writing. So just things like that, little things I do appreciate, but I don't think I wouldn't like it anymore if it was free. At the time I would. But I'm not going to get a TV that size for free, so it's fine. But that used to bug me, though, really used to bug me, because I remember I talked about this before, I'll probably be talking about this forever. It was such an important event in my life. There was a friend, someone I went to college with. This was again back in 2006. Her husband was seriously ill, and he wouldn't have I'm not going into details, but he wouldn't have a physical treatment, medical treatment procedure until I went along and helped him to relax and to deal with the pain and stuff. Bearing in mind, he'd never seen me in action. He'd only met me once at his wedding. Didn't really know anything about me other than what his wife would have told him. But for some reason he had faith in me, and I never understood that. So I went along, and this was a hospital ward, that was very noisy. For many different reasons, but every possible reason that you can imagine why it was noisy, really noisy. So we pulled the curtain around just for a bit of privacy. Didn't block out the sound. They're not soundproof, are they? They're basically just shower curtains, aren't they? although it is frowned upon if you start having a shower, or if you steal them for your shower. So I was sitting behind this. The nurses said they'd leave us alone for half an hour, so the nurses knew what we were doing, so we weren't going to be disturbed, which was good. But there was a lot of screaming and shouting, or lots of stuff. And even in that environment, bearing in mind I'm not a loudspeaker, so I was talking fairly quietly. He was listening, and the end result was probably at the time, one of the most satisfying experiences of my life, because he did relax deeply. He was seriously the opposite of being relaxed. Relaxed, felt fine, didn't have any pain or anything. I left, he had the procedure, and the procedure went fine, and he was okay. And previously he had that procedure, and he didn't want to have it again because of how it went. This time he was so relaxed that he almost didn't care. So the next day I go to, so this is 2006, so I was working in insurance. Yes, I was working in insurance. I went to the Buddhist centre for my lunch. I met up with one of, I think they might have been working in the Evolution shop. So I went to lunch with one of the lads there. And he was talking about his own thing. Vinny, don't be barking, please, mate. He was talking about his own thing that he did. And I don't know if he was just talking about, oh yeah, because I think everyone knew about the free. I think I had yeah, I did, yeah. I had a pile of postcards on the counter of the Evolution shop, and a couple in the window and stuff. So everyone knew what I was doing. I told everyone what I was doing. There wasn't anyone that didn't know. And in fact, I put one of the ones up because it was pain relief, free pain relief. I put it up on the board in the staff room at work, where we go and have a coffees and stuff. And someone crossed out the word pain and wrote hand instead. So they had a giggle for that. But I didn't get any takers. Well, I got one taker, then I explained to him that it was supposed to be pain relief. And he just walked off sheepishly. He wasn't a sheep. Well, I mean, like, he was probably a bit embarrassed. So oh dear. And so everybody knew what I did. I told everyone. And he was this bloke. I mean, I was having dinner with him, so clearly he was like a friend. But he said to me that people don't appreciate stuff that's free. And I think I might have had a go at him for that. Because it upset me so much, because literally the evening before I'd been in the hospital ward with my friend's husband. And at no point did money change hands. I didn't say, oh, by the way, that's 30 quid, please, or that's 50 quid. And it wasn't really, I got no issue with money, or we need it. But the idea that he didn't appreciate what I'd done for him, or he didn't appreciate it, or me, it just didn't make sense. Because he showed his appreciation at the time, and he contacted me afterwards. I also went round his house to help him with some pain relief as well, a week later or a couple of weeks later. But the idea that someone doesn't, it's like, no, some people won't, but then plenty of people don't appreciate stuff that they pay for. I mean, look at how some people react. Like if they're in a restaurant, they're paying for a meal, but they're treating the staff sometimes horribly, being rude to them and stuff, when actually, if that food was free, guaranteed the staff would be treated with utmost respect. I've not only been to a soup kitchen, I've given food out at a soup kitchen in 2 different towns, and these are people that pretty much, they don't have to be respectful if they don't want to. A lot of them are homeless, drunk, whatever, and maybe also got a lot of issues and that. They would argue amongst themselves, always respectful to the people giving out food. No matter what their condition was, all I saw was respect and gratitude. They were grateful. That's the one thing I saw. And so to say that someone's not grateful, because I guarantee that if they were charging £1 a sandwich, although it's a lot cheaper than Greg's, there's going to be some people saying, "Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that sandwich. I don't like that cheese. Wasn't very nice. Have you got one with more celery? I want more lettuce." But you don't get that if it's free. You don't get the complaints. So it's almost like there's more respect if it's not being charged for. You can't, because they can't give it back, can they? They can't ask for their money back if it's free. Maybe that's what I'm saying, is they can't ask for their money back. They can't put a complaint in. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's fascinating times, that was. Seeing the relief on somebody's face, the disbelief as well as the relief, just listening to my voice is able to change the way you feel without you having to do anything. And the surprise that you have, almost like, how that doesn't make sense really, because all I've done is just waffle on about nothing, maybe for an hour or an hour and a half or however long. So how can that be useful? Yeah, it's a strange one, really. I don't have an answer. Not really. I guess it is what it is. Our experiences are what they are, aren't they? So when you feel relaxed, you feel relaxed. Maybe we don't need to try to investigate why you're now feeling better than you did before. Maybe it's something that you can. We don't do it with medication, do we? You know, someone that has, let's say they have a headache and they take a headache tablet and the headache goes, and that's what they expected to happen. There's no big conversation and get a big pad out and try to work out, like, how did that happen? I'm just surprised. I didn't expect it to. No, it wouldn't happen, would it? Oh, look at this. There's more. I didn't realise there's more to read. Jason has been practicing hypnotherapy for many years. Well, practicing, I was more studying than practicing, really. I did a bit for a couple of years previous, but that was just friends, a bit of family. As qualified as a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, which brings lots of different therapies, including hypnotherapy. That was in, 1999? Well, 98 and then 99. He said, everyone has feelings of confidence and relaxation in them somewhere, and what I do is give them a shortcut to tap into them. It's a bit like a computer all those emotions are there on the hard drive, but you need some way of accessing them quickly. I was quite into computers back then. In recent months, we have started... Yeah, it would have been a different answer when I was into goldfish. In recent months, he has started... has decided offering... It doesn't make sense, but anyway, in recent months, he's decided to start offering hypnotherapy free of charge and is building up a core of clients with wide-ranging problems. Yeah, this is something that I didn't expect, and I wasn't... I don't know, it wasn't what I wanted to be doing. He said, one lady I've been seeing is preparing for a major operation. This is a separate thing anyway. That came through a friend of a friend. So one lady I've been seeing is preparing for a major operation and is absolutely petrified at the thought of it. So we have been working on relaxation techniques. Another man was going to hospital for some invasive medical procedures, and I actually worked with him in the hospital to help calm him down. That's the man I was just talking about. I've also helped people prepare for driving tests and overcome a fear of flying. So I was getting people coming for other things once they found out about me, and I wasn't interested. I was interested in the moment when they were there. It's not like I was like, oh, now relax your legs, now relax your hands, oh, now think of, I don't know, let's start counting, 10, 9, 8, I wasn't being, I didn't have an attitude, but ultimately I wanted to help, I wanted to deal with people with chronic pain. That was the thing that I was most interested in. While Jason's hypnotherapy work is currently restricted to evenings and weekends, his ultimate aim is to use his skills within hospitals. Yeah, it was. Never happened, apart from that one time. He said the NHS is becoming much more open to alternative therapies, and I really believe that I could help a lot of people. For more information, see www.freepainrelief.co.uk. I don't have that URL anymore. I made a little bit of a mistake because what I did is I let that go. Someone else bought the domain name and they instantly had traffic and they started selling stuff like pain relief stuff. So I was getting, about 100,000 visitors a year. So they suddenly had all these visitors. So I probably made someone a bit of money. Hypnotherapy put it. It just goes through what hypnosis is at the end. Okay, there's no one's left any messages, but there's no pictures of me. Oh. I'm just gonna have a look. I'm just going to see if it's anywhere else, because it might have been in other newspapers, It's possible. So I'm going to come out of there. Come out of there. Come out of there. Right, I'll just come out altogether. Right, mind power can beat pain. Right, so I'm not coming up. So that title is not bringing up. The thing is, it's 19 years ago, so it's quite a long time. I could have been famous, couldn't I? Yes. If only I'd found a way. Be famous. By the way, if you work in a hospital, if you're a boss, you can always get me in to do a bit of pain relief with some of the patients. Or a hospice. I tried to get into the 2 different hospices to do pain relief, and neither of them would take me. I just don't think I came across in a way. I think what it was is because I didn't know enough about. I didn't have the qualifications of a nurse or of a doctor or palliative care or any kind of medical practitioner. I didn't have any medical experience, and I think that they probably didn't. I don't know, maybe I just didn't fit in with that environment in their eyes. But then I went into a drug rehab centre. I wasn't a former addict, I've never been through that process, and yet I was welcomed there to do group sessions with not just people that were, well, for people that were going to the centre, the rehab centre, also the staff, also people that were on day release from prison would come along. So I was also, or people that were at prison that come along to the rehab. So I was in a room with people of all different situations, but for some reason the hospitals and stuff didn't he want me. It's a shame, because that would have been a great way to have spent the last 20 years. Okay, so I can't find it anywhere. So it's if I put in my name, maybe it'll come up. What is going on? I think this this laptop is starting to play up a little bit. I might have to, I don't know, something. Oh no, if I put in Mind Power Can Beat Pain, Jason Newland. Welcome to Stress and Pain Relief, a therapeutic podcast hosted by Jason Newland. Okay, so yeah, it's that newspaper article. It's pretty much disappeared, but it is still on there, and it's still on that website, but I can't. Yeah, so what I've done is I have added it to my Facebook page, and let me have a look. Mind Power Can Beat Pain, and there's a link. So what I'll do, if I edit it, so here, oh okay, mind, oh, I just want to put in what it is. My website, my newspaper article from 2006, when I was offering free pain relief service. My newspaper article from 2006, when I was offering my free pain relief service, Mind Power Can Beat Pain, 19th of July 2006. A weird pic. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, there's no images, so that image has gone. The weird image of me with my baldy head and my, I can't even explain it. It's not there anymore. I wonder if I can, if I go to edit, can I? Oh, I can. In fact, I'm going to increase the size. Oh, brilliant. Let's see if there's any change preview. No, let's go back. Oh, that's made me very happy. No, I didn't want that on there. I'm going to have to edit it again. Right, edit it again, edit post, by, done. Dun 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 dun. Biddy 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 biddy. And that should come to, yeah. It's not quite 9 years. 19 years. Did I say 9 years? It's not quite 19 years, but it will be in about 6 weeks. This amazes me. Just time. Time. It does, doesn't it? It really does go by. It really do. What have I got? I've got messages. Oh, I don't know what that's about. Go away. So, I've gone from talking about retuning an instrument to paint to pixel dissolve to just talking about myself. My favourite subject. But how do you feel? That's always the bottom line, really. To me, that's the bottom line. How do you feel? How do you feel physically? How do you feel emotionally? How relaxed do you feel? How calm is your body? Is your mind slowed down? Maybe you've even fallen asleep. Now, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye. Bye. That was a bit high pitched, wasn't it? Bye. Bye.